Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, yeah, we got a show for y'all today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, as you guys know, at least for the new people that have been following this channel, I don't respect much of anything that Stephen A. Smith has to say when it comes to politics. And the reason I say that is because it's not just because sometimes or most of the time Stephen A. Smith gets on my nerves. No, it's just that given the fact that I've listened to him speak about issues for years, I just think he's a grifter. And I think most of his views are informed by who's in power and how much traction he can get off of them. And I think that the main reason he's now having these conservative viewpoints is because the conservatives are the ones that are in power. The Republicans are the ones that are controlling the U.S. Government right now, the administration, etc., the Senate, the House, everything. So therefore, he's going to take those views. And I've always said that for the people that believe that Stephen A. Smith actually believes what he says, he's taking you guys for a ride. I've always said that. We even did a show about a week or so ago reacting to some comments that Roland Martin made when he was reacting to what Stephen A. Smith and Bill Burr were discussing about Bill Burr essentially saying that, hey, you know, if we're thinking about potential Democratic candidates to run for office, you could be one of them. And then Roland Martin absolutely shot that idea down and said it was absolutely insane. And I agree with him. And a lot of the people that viewed that show concurred with those viewpoints. So he's just been annoying me. I'm not going to lie to you. And one of the things that I said in one of those shows was, for the people that think Stephen A. Smith is serious, and for the people that are considering believing the things that he's saying, I was arguing with people online telling them that the guy voted for Kamala Harris. He was supporting Kamala and the Democrats all the way into the voting booth. So how come he all of a sudden has a change of heart? How come he's so critical about the Democrats, the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, when he supported them? And some of the people that were viewing our show didn't even know that. No, Stephen A. Smith never voted for Kamala. I'm like, this is how well the grift has been working. So what happened? Given the fact that people know this, we talked about it, the shows that we've done about it have done probably a few 100,000 views each of them. I'm sure, and I don't want to give my toot my own horn here, but I'm sure channels and platforms like ours have played a role in Stephen A. Smith now coming out and feeling the need to respond to the people that are questioning, well, if you're such a strong Trump supporter and you're always parroting all of the talking points of his administration and his party, why did you vote for Kamala Harris? And it now seems Stephen A. Smith has reached the point where he has to answer that question. And he did so during one of the episodes of his show, I think Straight Shooter. I want you guys to take a listen to Stephen A. Smith's explanation as to, one, why he voted for Kamala, as to two, why he supports Trump, and then listen to the part where he says that Donald Trump annoys him and he doesn't like his actions. Take a listen to this guy here, please.
I support my immigrant brothers, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, my immigrant brothers and sisters, because they're not all Hispanics. I just don't think any country should have open borders like we did. But if you go through the process, I'm all for immigrants coming into this country. If you're here illegally, I'm not for snatching children and separating them from their parents and sending them back. I'm not down for that. In my perfect world, although people might disagree with me, I'm of the mindset, those who have been here, if you're not criminal, if you're law-abiding citizens and you're working, and somehow, some way you're paying your taxes and stuff like that, leave them alone. Just don't let nobody else in, because it's overcrowded going on now. It's overcrowdedness going on right now. And when we talk about Medicaid being an issue, because you got states like in California, I mean, you know, we know what that's about. We know the reason why you're billions in debt is because of the money that you were utilizing towards helping migrants at the expense of citizens in California. Now, Gavin Newsom may deny that, or knowing him as fluid and as smooth as he is, he'll have a perfectly logical explanation for it, but people ain't trying to hear that. They're just not. And when I get to our president, what I'm saying to you, this is why I didn't vote for him. Something that I've said publicly on many occasions. I don't like how he acts. I don't like the name calling. I don't like the belligerence. I don't like the vindictiveness. I'm not talking policy. Because the fact of the matter is, the prism of history tells us whether a policy is beneficial or not. Do I like him scaling black? A connection to black history? The Smithsonian Museum and other things with executive orders? No, I do not. But I'm not sure I disagree with the tariffs just yet. I certainly don't disagree with what he's done with immigration because I thought it was necessary because of what Biden did. Last time I checked, the economy hasn't collapsed. Inflation may be imminent, if not already here, but we haven't felt the profound effects of that yet. Maybe it's coming, maybe it won't. And I'm not worried about people being in jail and being let out the same day like I was under the previous administration. I ain't apologizing for that. But the reason that I didn't vote for this president, a man that I knew before he went into office, he had events all the time, sporting events, boxing events, and other things. We were always there. That's why you've never heard me calling them racist and comparing them to Nazis. He was cool with us. What I don't like is the belligerence because it serves to polarize, not galvanize. And then it leaves the American citizen living in chaos because we've been convinced by leaders on Capitol Hill that nothing can get done because everything is vitriolic. And I don't have time for that. We need somebody to bring us together, to be an adult in the room. And every time you hold out hope that Donald Trump is going to do that, he does something like this. Play this video, please.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore.
An AI-generated video of Chuck Schumer standing next to Hakeem Jeffries, with Hakeem Jeffries wearing a sombrero. Donald Trump posted on his social media page, Truth Social. Ladies and gentlemen, how is Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer supposed to be incentivized to then turn around and work with this man? How are we to believe that Donald Trump is interested in working with them when he so unapologetically trolls and memes them at every turn? This is Hakeem Jeffries, and we have one of the biggest members of our government as a minority whip in the House saying, "Say it to my face." Remember when Senator Mark Wayne, I forgot his last name, from Oklahoma, and Bernie Sanders had to slam down the gavel because he was willing to get up and go fight a union worker that said something about him on the floor of the U.S. Capitol? What the hell has this world come to? Have y'all no decency? No decorum whatsoever? My God.
So you heard what he had to say. I want to go over what this man just said. He said he doesn't like the way the president acts. He doesn't like the way the president acts. The question is, when did you realize you don't like the way that he acts? Because I'm willing to go out on a limb and say he hasn't liked the way Donald Trump has acted for years. For years. And it was one of the reasons I believe he felt voting for Kamala Harris was the correct decision to make for him. But what is now being exposed is that ever since Trump took office, he has done every single thing to bash the people he supported over Trump. This is the part that confounds me. He's now talking about what is our political environment turning into? It's now just like one big S show. Look at how these people that are supposed to be leaders of our country are behaving. You don't know where this behavior emanated from? You know. But because he still wants to play both sides of the fence, instead of saying, oh, because since Trump has gotten in office, this is why these people are, what happened was, and I'm no political scientist, but I believe what happened was the Democrats started to adjust to what they believe was working. Trump came in as like a maverick. He came in and the way he was talking was unlike anything we had seen from a politician. Unlike anything. And he promoted himself as an outsider. So when he came in, the way he did things was brash. It wasn't classy, it wasn't polite, but people gravitated towards that because they thought that it was authentic. So what ended up happening was a lot of Democratic leaders and liberal and Democratic voices out there said to themselves, well, this seems to be what people want today. This seems to be the way to go about doing things. So they themselves started mirroring the behavior. Liberal or Democratic, however you want to describe them, political commentators started talking and cursing and doing all because they felt like this is what the new game is now. So Stephen A. Smith talking about, look at the way these people have behaved. Where'd it come from? Well, you know where it came from because you said it. You said it. And in all of that, he still didn't answer why he voted for Kamala over Trump. All he said was, Trump was this, Trump was that. Trump would cause this, Trump would cause that. But now he's great. And Kamala, well, she doesn't have a political career anymore. Stephen A. Smith is grifting, bro. Or at the very least, he's afraid to take a firm position. I don't believe Stephen A. Smith is a conservative at all. At all. I don't believe he believes 90% of the things that he's saying that are favorable about conservatives. I believe that he's doing that. And I said it multiple times before because number one, they're the only ones that are going to platform him. They're the only ones that are taking him seriously. That's the reason why you can see him go on Sean Hannity. Megyn Kelly can come on his show. He can go on various shows because they're the ones that will listen to him. Even the president has said, oh, I like Stephen A. So that's why he continues to do it. Nobody else is taking Stephen A. Smith seriously, and he knows that. But these are the only people that are willing to have a conversation with him. So therefore, he's going to say what they want to hear. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. I said it on the show that we produced last week, and I'm going to say it again. If the Republicans win the the Democrats win the midterm elections, be on the lookout for Stephen A. Smith shows. He'll be up there telling you how stupid the Republicans are. This is what's going to happen. This is exactly what's going to happen. Y'all think just because Stephen A. Smith making $40 million, he wouldn't like to make $60 million a year? You think so? Okay. We shall see. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.